July 11 is not just another day. It is a moment that carries weight, but only if you are prepared to feel it, not with your mind, not with your eyes, but with something deeper. The shift that many people are waiting for. It does not arrive in the clouds. It will not knock on your door. It starts in a place most people are afraid to look within. There is a misunderstanding spreading in this world. People think change happens when something new enters their life, a new job, a new relationship, a new belief. But this is not transformation. This is rearrangement. Real transformation begins the moment you decide to take responsibility for everything that happens inside you, not outside. Inside. That moment could be today, it could be tomorrow, but for many it will be July 11 because this date is not special by magic. It becomes special because you decide to treat it that way. On July 11, something will be offered to you. Not by me, not by another person, but by the universe itself. And this offer will not come wrapped in light or sound. It will come in silence. In that silence, you will notice a small question arising. That question is this: are you ready? Not are you ready for success? Not are you ready for fame? But are you ready to sit with yourself? To face the discomfort you keep running from? To finally stop pretending and start being? So most people will ignore it. They will scroll. They will complain. They will distract themselves with things that do not matter. But some, maybe you, will stop. You will feel something shift, maybe just for a second, but it will be enough because all it takes is 1 second of complete honesty. That is the seed of real change. The truth is, the world is not going to wait for you to be ready. It moves with or without you. But if you are able to align yourself with its movement, you will stop feeling like you are swimming upstream. You will feel flow. And that flow always begins inside. That is the point people miss. They chase results, but results are effects. What you need to focus on is the cause. And that cause is always inside of you. Look around. So many people talk about energy shifts, portals, divine timing. But none of that matters if your inner world is in chaos. You must become the stillness that allows change to enter, not the noise that pushes it away. July 11 is the date to choose stillness. So choose presence, choose to listen. This does not mean you have to sit in meditation for 10 hours. It means you stop running. So you stop pretending that the answers are outside. You stop blaming others for what you feel. Because the pain you carry, that pain is not your enemy. It is your invitation. Your pain is your teacher. But only if you're willing to listen. Most people aren't, but if you are, then everything begins to change. On July 11, look at your life honestly. What habits are keeping you stuck? What patterns are you repeating without even noticing? What emotions are you avoiding because they are uncomfortable? And most importantly, who are you becoming? Not what you want, not what you want, not what you fear. Who are you becoming through your actions, your choices, your silence? Every time you ignore your inner world, you add another layer of noise. That noise becomes a barrier. You cannot hear the signals anymore, and yet they keep coming. The universe keeps whispering. On July 11, it will not scream, it will whisper. And the question is, will you be quiet enough to hear it? This is not spiritual poetry. This is discipline. This is practice. This is presence. You must train your awareness like you train your body. Daily, repeatedly, especially when it's hard, because that's where the shift happens. Not when things are easy, but when you choose clarity, even in difficulty. Many people are waiting for signs, but the sign is already there. Oh, it has always been there, inside your mind, inside your breath, inside your reactions. You don't need more information. You need stillness. You need responsibility, you need truth. And the truth is simple. July 11 will not change your life. You will change your life when you stop outsourcing your power. When you realize that growth is not something given to you, it's something you earn through awareness, through honesty, through silence, through discipline. So use this day, use July 11 as a symbol, a beginning, a portal not to another world, but to the one you've always ignored, your own. Sit quietly. Ask yourself the hard questions. and be brave enough to hear the answers. That is the shift. That is the sign. That is the teaching. And if you can see it, then you're ready. If you can feel it even slightly, then you're no longer asleep. You are beginning to wake up. And in that waking, everything changes. Not outside, inside. And that is where everything begins. July 11 is not here to entertain you. It is not a prophecy. It is not an external event. It is a mirror. One that reflects back everything you have become, everything you've ignored, and everything you must now confront. On this day, something quiet happens, not outside, but inside. That is where the shift takes place, if you're ready. Many people wait for life to change before they take action. They wait for the right time. They wait for motivation. But the right time is never something that arrives. It is something you choose. July 11 is that choice. It is not special by nature. It becomes special when you decide to use it as a moment of reckoning, when you use it as a mirror to ask, am I living the life I say I want? Or am I lying to myself every single day? The universe doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't reward potential. It rewards readiness. And readiness doesn't mean having no fear. It means being willing to act despite the fear. July 11 holds a mirror up to you. And the question is, will you dare to look? The hardest thing in life is not starting something new. It's letting go of what is familiar, even if that familiarity is toxic, even if it is keeping you stuck. But July 11 comes with a silent pressure, a kind of energy that forces you to evaluate where you are. What are you clinging to? What version of yourself are you afraid to release? It is not about waiting for the universe to push you forward. It's about asking yourself, why am I still holding on to what no longer serves me? That's what July 11 is about. It's a checkpoint. It doesn't demand action. It demands honesty. And if you ignore it, life will keep repeating the same lessons until you finally stop and listen. You cannot lie to yourself forever. You can distract yourself with noise, with social media, with food, with people. But deep down, you know what's missing. You know what you're avoiding. You know who you could become if you stopped running. That truth doesn't go away. It just waits. And on July 11, it gets louder. But not in words, in feelings. You might wake up that day with a strange weight in your chest, a sense of urgency, like something is about to change. That's not a cosmic force entering your body. That's your own awareness rising up, trying to get your attention. It's your soul telling you this version of you is expired. It's time to grow. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for external signs, but the real sign is always internal. The discomfort you feel, the restlessness, the frustration, those are not problems. Those are invitations. July 11 makes them impossible to ignore. It's like a mirror you cannot look away from. If you look into it honestly, you will see your patterns, your habits, the roles you play, the excuses you recycle. And you will finally have to ask faith, is this who I want to be? Or is this who I've settled for? That's where the shift begins. Not with changing the world around you, uh, but with changing how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you show up for yourself. You stop asking when the breakthrough is coming and start asking, what am I doing to create it? People always want to skip to the reward. They want clarity, freedom, confidence, but none of that comes without going through the fire of honesty. You must face the things about yourself that make you uncomfortable. You must stand in front of that July 11 mirror and see what you've been avoiding. It will not feel good, growth never does, but it will feel real. And in that realness, you will begin to wake up. You do not need a new opportunity. You need a new level of awareness. You need to stop negotiating with your distractions. So you need to stop pretending that tomorrow will be different if you keep doing the same things today. That illusion is what July 11 is here to break. If you are brave enough to look into the mirror, you will see both the problem and the solution. You are both. You are what's in the way, and you are the way forward. That realization is painful, but it is also freeing, because once you stop lying to yourself, you start moving, you stop waiting, you stop blaming. You stop hoping for signs and start becoming the sign for your own life. July 11 is your reminder. You don't need a miracle. You need a mirror. And that mirror is not showing you your flaws. It's showing you your possibilities. If only you're ready to face them. And if you are, then the shift has already begun. Not outside, not in the stars, not in some cosmic event, but inside of you, where it was always meant to be. July 11 is not going to shout. It won't come with loud answers or flashing lights. If you are waiting for something dramatic, you will miss the entire purpose of this day, because the real signal is silent. The most important signs do not come from the sky. They rise quietly from within you. And the ones who are still, the ones who are aware, they will notice. But most people won't. They're too distracted, too fast, too noisy inside. Every day, life is sending you messages, not through others, but through your own emotions, your body, your state of being, that strange heaviness you feel when you wake up. So the sudden wave of sadness in the middle of a good moment, the tension in your chest that you pretend not to notice, these are signals, not accidents, not problems, just invitations. And July 11 is the day these signals get stronger, louder, not in volume, but in intensity, not to punish you, but to wake you up. You see, awareness is not something mystical, it's practical. It's the difference between reacting and responding, between surviving and growing. But you cannot develop awareness if you are constantly distracting yourself. If your mind is full, your heart cannot speak. And on July 11, your heart will try to speak. Maybe it already is, but will you listen? This is not a date where everything outside changes. It's the day where something inside starts shifting, if you're ready, but only if you're willing to slow down, to feel, to notice the things you usually ignore. You don't need more advice. You don't need someone to tell you what to do. You already know. The question is, are you quiet enough to hear yourself when something doesn't feel right? That's not a flaw. It's a compass. Pain is not the enemy. Confusion is not failure. These are messages from within, internal signals telling you this is not aligned. Something here is off. But most people numb these signals. They drown them with noise. They pretend everything's okay. And they call that strength. But that's not strength, that's avoidance. On July 11, many people will feel something unusual, a strange sense that something is about to happen. And it is, but not out there. It's happening inside. You might feel restless. You might feel emotional without knowing why. You might feel like something is being stirred up. That's not random. That's life inviting you to take a deeper look. You see, the mind likes routine. It likes safety. It likes to repeat. But your soul, your deeper self, wants growth. And growth never feels safe. It feels uncertain. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like being called into a space where you're not in control. And that's exactly what July 11 is. A moment that pulls you out of your comfort into awareness. But awareness requires discipline. The discipline to pause, to observe, to sit in silence and listen to your inner world, not judge it. Just notice. Notice the emotions that rise when you're alone. Notice the thoughts that repeat every day. Notice the things that trigger you, the people who drain you, the habits that weaken you. Because every one of these is a message, a lesson, clue. Most people will ignore them. They will treat this day like any other, but not you. Not if you're truly ready. July 11 is a doorway, but the key is not outside. It's your ability to listen deeply, quietly, fearlessly. Because the signs will be subtle, a sudden moment of stillness, a random memory, a strange feeling in the chest. These are not distractions. They are the doorway to transformation. But be warned, if you ignore these signals, they will not disappear. They will return louder in the form of anxiety, in the form of emotional distance, in the form of fatigue, disconnection, frustration. Life is patient, but it is also persistent. It will keep trying to get your attention. And if you don't listen in stillness, life will force you to listen in chaos. You have a choice, not to avoid discomfort, but to finally face it, not to wait for signs, but to recognize that you are the sign, you are the message. Your life is talking to you every day. And July 11 is simply the day it becomes harder to ignore. So pause, breathe, feel what's rising inside you. What emotion are you afraid to name? What truth have you been pushing down? That is the real work. That is the real shift, not in the stars, not in the energy outside, but in the energy you've been suppressing. Self-growth is not about becoming someone new. It's about listening so closely to yourself that all the lies start to fall away. That's what July 11 is offering, a moment to stop lying, a moment to start listening. Because when you listen, really listen, you begin to change, not all at once, but the shift begins. And once it begins, it cannot be reversed. This is not a warning. It's an invitation to meet yourself more deeply, to hear what's been waiting to speak. And if you choose to accept it, July 11 will not be just another day. It will be the beginning of something honest, something powerful, something real. But it all starts with one thing, the courage to listen. Many people want freedom, they want clarity, they want peace, but they avoid the one thing that creates it, discipline. Without discipline, nothing changes. You stay stuck. You repeat the same patterns. You live the same day again and again, hoping for different results. But July 11 is not a day for more hoping. It is a day to act, to commit, to understand that if you truly want to shift your life, you must start by disciplining yourself. Discipline is not punishment. It is permission. It is giving yourself the structure you need to become who you truly are, the version of you that is focused, calm, sharp, grounded. And that version of you does not arrive by accident. It is created day by day, step by step to action. And on July 11, that process must begin. You see, growth is not random. It's not something you wait for. It doesn't arrive just because you feel inspired. It arrives when you show up, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. That's what most people miss. They think motivation is the beginning, but it isn't. Discipline is. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. It is the foundation of everything lasting. You want peace. Train your mind. You want energy. Move your body. You want clarity. Simplify your life. And none of these things happen on their own. You have to do the work. You have to build the structure, because without structure, energy leaks. Your focus scatters. Your power weakens. July 11 is not just a date. It is a checkpoint, a reminder that your time is not unlimited, that your potential doesn't wait forever. And if you are not disciplined, you will waste your time, your energy, and your life on things that don't matter. Distractions, habits, emotions. You will be controlled by them instead of mastering them. But you can reverse this. You can reclaim your power. And it starts by creating simple disciplines. Wake up at the same time. Move your body. Breathe with awareness. Sit in silence. Clean your space. Say no to what weakens you. Say yes to what strengthens you. And repeat every single day. It is not complicated, but it is hard because it demands consistency. It demands focus. It demands that you stop negotiating with your excuses. So that you stop making decisions based on how you feel and start making them based on who you want to become. Most people won't do this. They will wait, delay, justify. But July 11 is a line in the sand, a day to stop lying to yourself, a day to take ownership, to look at your life and ask, am I living with discipline or am I living with chaos? And if the answer is chaos, then the time to change is now. You do not need a dramatic change. You need a clear system, a simple rhythm, the ability to do what needs to be done without emotion, without delay. This is not cold. It is powerful. It is clean. It is how you build a life that lasts, a mind that is calm, a body that is strong, a spirit that is unshakable. And this is the message of July 11. You will not grow by waiting. You will grow by doing. You will not evolve through inspiration alone. You will evolve through repetition, through structure, through self-control. Even your emotions respond to discipline. Your reactions become slower. Your decisions become sharper. You don't waste time in confusion because your life has a rhythm. It has a direction. This is what most people are missing. And this is what you must build starting now. Start small. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for presence. Aim for repetition. Do something simple and do it every day. Let that be your anchor. Let it remind you that you are not here to drift. You are here to grow. And growth only happens with structure. If your life feels chaotic, it's not a sign to give up. It's a sign to simplify, to take control of what you can, to start with what's in front of you. And on July 11, that choice will be clearer than ever because life will show you what is not working. It will reflect your lack of structure and it will challenge you to change, but it will not force you. That part is up to you. You either keep drifting or you begin building. You either stay the same or you create the discipline required for change. There is no shortcut. There is no easier path, only the straight path, the direct one. And it begins the moment you stop avoiding it. So today, on July 11, choose discipline. Choose the practice that strengthens you. Choose the structure that holds you. Choose the daily actions that bring you closer to the life you know is possible. Because without discipline, that life stays a dream. But with discipline, it becomes reality. You don't need a sign from the sky. You need a decision in your mind. And once that decision is made, everything begins to shift quietly, powerfully, permanently. Discipline is not something you wait to feel. It is something you become. And July 11 is the day to become it. There are moments when people talk about great changes coming to the world. They look at dates like July 11 and say something big is going to happen. They think the universe will do something for them. That something powerful will come from the outside and change their life. But this belief is backwards because the truth is nothing outside of you has that kind of power unless you are prepared to receive it. You are not just a witness to the shift. You are the vessel. You are the place where the shift happens. July 11 is not about watching something unfold in the world. It is about feeling something unlock within yourself. The energy you are waiting for has always been inside you, but it only activates when you are ready to take full responsibility for it. If you are not ready, then July 11 will be just another day. But if you are prepared, it will become the beginning of a new path. Not because the day is special, but because you finally decided to step into your own power. You don't need to be saved. You need to wake up. There is no savior coming. The help you're looking for will not arrive from the outside. It is already inside, but it's quiet. And it waits for you to stop blaming the world, stop waiting for signs, stop hoping someone else will fix you. July 11 is a reminder that your life is your responsibility, not partially, fully. The moment you accept that truth, your transformation begins. Many people say they want to grow, but they don't want to let go of who they are. You cannot have both. You cannot hold on to your old identity and still become the next version of yourself. July 11 offers you the mirror, not to judge you, but to show you what you are still clinging to. It could be fear. It could be comfort. It could be the lies you've told yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. Whatever it is, you must release it. Because the new version of you cannot be built on the patterns that are keeping you small. This is why discipline, awareness, and silence matter. Because when you sit with yourself long enough without distraction, the truth begins to rise. And sometimes it is painful. You realize how much time you've wasted, how much potential you've ignored, how many chances you've walked away from. But if you are strong enough to face this honestly, it becomes fuel, it becomes power, because now you're not pretending anymore. So you're ready to do something real. You see, growth is not about adding more. It's about removing what's false, removing what's weak, removing what's no longer true. And that's what July 11 will ask of you, to strip away the noise and come back to what matters. Who are you beneath the labels, beneath the excuses, beneath the fear? Most people don't want to answer that. It's easier to stay distracted. But deep down, they know something is off. They feel the discomfort. They feel the restlessness. And on July 11, that feeling will rise, not to hurt you, but to wake you up, to remind you that you're not living at your highest level, that you've accepted a version of life that is too small for the spirit inside you. That's why you are the vessel. Because this change, this awakening, it needs a place to live. It needs space. And that space is your mind, your body, your spirit. But only if you clear the space, only if you make room. Room through discipline, room through honesty, room through letting go of what no longer serves you. You don't wait for energy to shift. You become the shift. You become the person who takes care of the body, trains the mind, watches the thoughts, sharpens the focus. You stop living passively and start living with intention, not once a week, every day. Especially on days like July 11, when life is giving you a chance to rise. This is not magic, this is mastery. And mastery does not come from waiting, it comes from deciding. So you must decide, do you continue living in reaction, in distraction, in comfort? Or do you step forward into responsibility, into power, into awareness? No one will make that decision for you. And no one needs to. Because the moment you choose it, everything begins to align. You will notice the way you walk changes, the way you speak, the way you think. And others will feel it. They will feel that something is different about you, that you are not like before. Because you finally accepted the truths. You are not here to be saved. You are here to awaken. And July 11 is your invitation to do that. If you take it seriously, if you go inward and listen, you will see that the signs were never in the sky. They were always in you. And now you are ready to receive them, not as a follower, but as a vessel, as a bridge between potential and reality. This is your role. This is your responsibility. And now it's your time. There are moments in life where silence becomes louder than noise, where something deep inside starts to speak and you can no longer pretend not to hear it. July 11 is one of those moments. It's not a coincidence. It's not random. It's a sign, but not a sign in the sky, not a light in the clouds. It's a sign from within, a subtle pressure, a quiet discomfort, a voice that says enough. Now is the time. You see, the universe is not always gentle. If you keep ignoring the signs, life will eventually stop asking and start shaking, not because it's cruel, but because it wants you to wake up. You were not born to live in fear, in confusion, in distraction. You were born to grow, to rise, to evolve. But growth doesn't happen without pressure, and pressure increases the longer you delay. If you don't listen to the quiet messages, you will be forced to listen to the painful ones. Most people wait until something breaks. They wait for crisis. They wait until they're exhausted, empty, lost. But that's not necessary. You can listen now. You can act now. You can respond to the signs early. That's what July 11 is offering, a soft knock before the loud crash, but only if you pay attention. Look closely at your life. Where are you stuck? What keeps repeating? What discomfort keeps returning? No matter how many times you try to push it away, that discomfort is not the enemy. It is guidance. It's trying to tell you something is out of alignment, something in your thoughts, something in your habits, something in your decisions. And if you ignore it, life will respond, not with peace, but with pressure. People think the universe punishes them, but the universe is just reflecting back the energy you're living in. If you live in resistance, it will bring resistance. If you live in avoidance, it will bring chaos. If you live in truth, it will bring clarity. So what are you choosing? So what is July 11 trying to show you? It's simple. The signs are already there in your body, in your mind, in your daily routines, in your emotions. But you have to stop numbing yourself. You have to stop escaping into screens, into food, into empty habits. Because every time you ignore what you feel, that signal becomes stronger. And at some point it turns into pain. That's when people say, why is this happening to me? But the better question is, why did I ignore the earlier signs? You don't need to wait until you break down. You can break through right now. but it takes honesty. And honesty is not always comfortable. You have to admit the role you're playing in your own suffering. You have to take responsibility. So no more blaming, no more waiting, no more delay, just truth. July 11 is not special because of the date. It's special because of what it can activate in you. If you let it, it's a checkpoint, a mirror, a wake up call. It's the moment where life says, if not now, then when? And your answer must be clear. And now, today, this moment. Because if not now, the pressure builds. And when life forces you to grow, it's rarely gentle. It comes as loss, as burnout, as crisis. But that's not punishment. Oh, that's mercy. It's life removing what you refuse to let go of. And you don't want to get to that point. You don't want to be forced to change. You want to choose it willingly, consciously, with presence. So ask yourself right now, what am I still avoiding? What decision have I been putting off? What truth have I been afraid to face? Those are your signals. That's where your growth lives. And on July 11, those questions will rise again, maybe louder than before. Don't silence them. Don't push them away. Sit with them. Breathe with them. Let them speak. This is how you evolve, not by waiting for change, but by meeting it halfway. Hey, with open eyes, with courage, because growth is not something that happens to you. It's something you initiate, something you practice. And every time you ignore a sign, you delay your own progress. You push away your own future. But every time you say yes to discomfort, yes to perfection, yes to personal truth, you take one step closer to becoming who you were meant to be. That's what this is about. Not destiny, not prophecy, but choice. Every day is a chance to realign. July 11 is just more intense, more clear, more focused. So listen, look inside, feel what's rising. Don't be afraid of it. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to shape you, to sharpen you, to remind you that the power has always been yours. You just forgot. You gave it away to doubt, to fear, to laziness. Now it's time to take it back. That's the real message. That's the hidden teaching behind July 11. You don't need a breakthrough. You need to stop running from yourself. And when you stop running, you will see that the signs were never outside. They were always within, waiting for the day you decide to listen. Let that day be today. Let it be July 11. Let it be the turning point, not because the world shifted, but because you did